Hello, I'm Bill Moss. I'm your host for American Patriots Have Responded, and we have probably one of the biggest news nights you will see of the year, possibly of the decade. Usually at election time things come out, but what all's been coming out tonight has been just amazing. And to me, it's raised more questions than it has given answers. I want to talk to you about this, but I want to give you the facts, okay? And during the facts, I might offer some opinions. And as we know, that the opinions do not reflect the views of American Patriots Have Responded, Cat News Channel, Rumble.com, or the Citizens Against Terrorism, for which I'm the founder. As we go through this, I'm going to point out some things. Tonight at about approximately 7:35 p.m., the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, announced that Iran and Russia are taking action to persuade voters to vote for Trump, they say. But the way they're doing it's in a threatening manner. This, as I explained, you'll understand, is not really to help Trump. They have taken the voters' addresses, Democratic voters, and they're sending spoof emails against Trump to them. Videos that fraud bailouts, videos that fraud ballots could be sent from overseas. This is totally false. Russia's obtained voter information also. Now, Director Wray of the FBI says we will not tolerate any foreign interference or criminal activity in our elections. Be thoughtful, careful consumers, he says, of information online. That is a good point for anybody to remember. Always consider, if it's coming online, how trustworthy is it? We have seen so many satire sites putting stuff out. We've seen so many different sites putting stuff out. This stuff is coming from the Director of National Intelligence and the Director of the FBI. So far, the breakdown is that Russia and Iran has been caught taking voter information to interfere with the election. Iran has been caught disseminating false information online about President Trump to harm his chances for re-election, sending messages that they are the Proud Boys, sending messages that they are the Proud Boys, threatening Democrat voters to force them to vote for Trump, according to Fox News contributor Byron York. Now, if you remember, the Proud Boys, during the first debate, Chris Wallace hammering the Proud Boys, saying they were racist, saying that they were white supremacists, saying they were this, saying they were that. Biden saying this, Biden saying that. And then Trump actually in the end denouncing the Proud Boys as a hate group. This is the root of it, folks. This is the root of it. That's my commentary on that right now. So what we have is two foreign dictatorships who are interfering in our elections. They're targeting Democrat voters with threats. These voters, in return, spread the disinformation, and its intent is to interfere with the election, the re-election of Donald J. Trump and his campaign, and cause further racial division in our country. To paint the Proud Boys as racist, white supremacists, radical right-wing hate group. And it's worked. It has worked. I said all along that our people had been in the streets protecting patriot groups and Trump supporters, as well as being Trump, as well as the Proud Boys, being Trump supporters themselves, they have stood side by side with us as we protect patriot groups and Trump supporters, just like we would protect BLM if they were being assaulted by the other side. We do not pick sides. We do not pick sides. But this is ridiculous, folks. This is ridiculous. Here is Russian interference. Here is Iraqi interference in our elections. The last time we come along, it was supposed to be that Russia was interfering for Trump. We'll get to that in a little bit. The two agency heads themselves, I realize, are just working on the information they have at hand in front of them. However, I feel a look at their investigation should include a look at several Democrat Party members who went to Iran and went to Russia during the Democrat policy negotiations Trump had with those countries. The leaders of those nations, they went to meet. I've said all along that was a violation of the Logan Act. No politician, only the President of the United States sets and negotiates policy with foreign countries. If you don't believe me, read your Constitution. It's in there. Okay, only the President, not the Speaker of the House, not the Speaker or the person under them, not the Speaker of the Senate, not the person under them. No politician, no senator, no congressman, no mayor, no governor, no secretary of state, or anything can negotiate and make foreign policy except for the president of himself. Now, he can send the Secretary of State, the acting Secretary of State, but not a former Secretary of State. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. It seems that while all this was going on, these politicians that went to Iraq, these politicians that went to Russia, took former Secretary of State John Kerry with them to talk to these leaders. Again, a violation of the Logan Act. What in the heck was he doing there? At the time he went, he was a private citizen. This is where this situation stinks to high heaven. John Kerry has no business, as a former Secretary of State, as a former politician in this country, he has no business going to a foreign country to try to influence foreign policy. Now, if you remember, John Kerry's tied up in this whole Biden crime family because his stepson, Devin Archer, is Hunter Biden's business partner. He's one of the people that drew $80,000 a month for a job that he had no qualifications for, right along beside Hunter. Then I got another question. How far can we trust these alphabet organizations? DNI, DOJ, FBI. How far can we trust them to tell us the truth about anything that's involved with the Democrat Party or foreign actors after the way they've been exposed, covering up for the Russian hoax? The illegal FISA court warrants in the Steele dossier, Hillary Clinton, all that's come to light. All of them have been exposed. Now, the FBI Director Christopher Wray was part of that same FBI and is leaving after the first of the year. but still many other FBI officials that were there during this cover-up are there today. I've got another question. Could this also be being done to pull the focus off the Biden crime family and its connection to China after the damaging evidence released in the Hunter Biden emails as of late? Emails which the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, and FBI Director Christopher Wray confirmed that they are in fact on Hunter's email and not part of a Russian disinformation operation. Emails that have been confirmed by the senders and the receivers. Many of these emails have already been deemed authentic. It is my belief that Joe Biden, Fox News' Chris Wallace, the Democrat Party, as well as Donald Trump, owe the Proud Boys a huge public apology for calling them a hate group. None of our people have never stood side by side when the poor boys stood with us and heard them use one racial epithet, have them use one hate speech slogan, had them make one hate speech comment. This, my friends, is what I told you about all along. I was disgusted with the way the BLM, Antifa, left wing, and members of the Democrat Party, and then Donald Trump himself, portrayed the Proud Boys as racist hate groups and right-wing extremists. They've not been out burning the cities. They've not been out attacking people. They've not been out killing people. They've not been out shooting cops. They've not been out doing any of that. They have stood the high ground. They have protected the people's lives. They protected the people's property. And they have stood as proud patriots without violence. While they were hit with gases and chemical weapons, and they were thrown feces and urine on them, while they were called names that consist of hate speech, while they were physically assaulted, they only defended themselves and others. The true hate groups in America, the worst two out there, and I don't care who likes it when I say it, is Antifa, the domestic terrorist group, and Black Lives Matters, which we have tried to work with, only to get a knife in our back to bring peace to our country. If you recall, on our show, we brought Keith Johnson on. And Keith Johnson, we let him have his word. And we talked about how we would work together. But yet, when he thought I was not looking, he made posts that would divide the two groups, Black Lives Matters and Proud Boys. He assaulted their character. He called them a hate group. He called them racist. You do not make peace with people by calling them names. during the last show when I talked about Keith Johnson. I said that they had severed the ties because of this. Evidently, Keith Johnson wasn't listening. But until I see a public retraction of everything he said about the Proud Boys, especially in light of this evidence that just come out, there will be no speaking. We will continue to protect people, both black, white, brown, yellow, who are innocent. We will protect their lives, their well-being, their homes, their businesses, their properties, but we will not deal with terrorists or those who try to spread the flame of racism. So Keith, the ball's in your hand. I'm sorely disappointed in both parties. I'm sorely disappointed in both of the presidential candidates. They both owe the Proud Boys an apology. This here is proof where this stuff come from. And it's up to them to bring it to the people and tell the truth about where it came from. And it should be done at the debate tomorrow night. Questions should be answered about Hunter Biden's emails. They should be answered about who the big guy is and who's pop. And is the big guy that $10 million is being held for? Is that Joe Biden? The American people have a right to know. Just like when asked about the Supreme Court packing, Joe Biden said the people have no right to know. And he obviously feels that people have no right to know about this. He has hid in his basement for a week now. The only question that I've seen a reporter ask Joe Biden in the last week is, what flavor of ice cream did you order? Is this democracy? Is this a democratic republic? I hear left-wing people hollering, what's happened to our democracy? Well, number one, we're a democratic republic. We're not a democracy. But what we're seeing is not either a democratic republic or a democracy. And I want to give you another example of the cancel culture embraced by the left. My organization, Citizens Against Terrorism, has also been accused of being a hate group. But anyone that sees our mission statement will find that it is no way the truth. It's far from it. Citizens Against Terrorism is a non-political, non-religious bias, non-racial bias organization, and does not allow it in their organization. And it was founded by me to support people of the communities, the law enforcement that protect them, and to work with the law enforcement to protect them and the safety of the communities that we serve. To protect the lives, the businesses, the homes, the churches, the libraries, the schools, and the statues and monuments and graveyards in our communities that have been under assault. Citizens Against Terrorism tries to spread goodwill within the communities. by helping all people anonymously. Somebody needs help, one of us sees them, we give them that help. We don't tell them who we are, what we are, we just help them. And then we tell them to pay it forward. Help somebody else. Don't pay us. Pay it forward. Help somebody else when they're in need and you're in the position to help. That's how you build goodwill. That's how you build community. That's how you build interracial relationships, interfaith relationships, international relationships even. And we try to do this between all colors, all beliefs in our communities. Our future goal is to set up community service centers to help the needy. I'm not going to go in tonight to everything we do, but it's food, financial, and other things that we will be working to try to help with. I want to move on to even more later breaking news today. This whole evening, I was preparing to come into the studio and to give you day 10 in another narrative. But that will wait, because this is day 10 now. This is forefront in the public eye, and these questions and these stories need to be got out. And we can't depend on mainstream media to get them there. Hunter Biden's laptop has been in custody of the FBI since 2019. And the FBI just announced today, this evening, that it is being held because it is part of an illegal money laundering operation. Now, they've had this since 2019. Why was this not revealed during the impeachment trial? Why did Comey not release the exculpatory evidence in Hunter's computer that would have exonerated President Trump? Why? Do you see the political bias here yet? One thing that the DOJ, the DNI, Department of National Intelligence, and the FBI says is that it's not part of a Russian disinformation campaign, even though Russia has also been hacking Democrat voters' addresses. For what purpose? Where's the answers for that? I want to know the answers. And if I can dig them up before they do, you will know them. It's hard to say if I can or not. This is all part of deep state, folks. This is hidden so deep that it's just really, excuse me, I need to readjust in my chair. This is hidden so deep that it's really hard to find. We've been digging stuff up. We've been bringing stuff to you for 10 episodes now. We've exposed billionaires. We told you we would. We've exposed many organizations. There's probably thousands more. I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it all. We have exposed colleges. We have exposed politicians. We've exposed charities. We've exposed fake news outlets. We've exposed mainstream outlets, ABC, CBN, MSNBC, NBC, Fox News. And as I told you, really the only true places that I can go and get news that I really feel comfortable with, that I feel I can trust, that is fair and balanced, is OWN and Newsmax. But I watch them all. I try to pick up and watch what they're doing so I know and I can help you. But I got another question. Is this and the lack of any information or denial of China playing a part or of Ukraine playing a part of this actually the cabal trying to draw attention off the Biden crime family's connection to these countries, which were recently exposed by news agencies who dared break the news of the content of Hunter Biden's emails, despite mainstream media's refusal to inform its viewers of the facts and to cover the facts by remaining silent. Who all is truly responsible for the distribution of this false information to attack again the campaign of Donald J. Trump? It's obvious it's happening. It's obvious some of the same players are involved. Why did Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats go talk to the Shah of Iran along with John Kerry? Why did they go talk to Russia? Why did they go talk to the Ukraine when they knew it was illegal for them to be there discussing foreign policy? Was it for that purpose? Or will a deep enough look into this show that their handprints are on this operation? I don't know, and I'm not making accusations. I'm just asking questions. Questions that we all should be asking our elected officials. Things that we should get answers for, and if any one of them are guilty, they should be held accountable for. People, we're watching the destruction of the United States. And while they're putting the information out in front of us, we have to ask ourselves, is this all the information? What else is being hidden? If there was exculpatory evidence for any president during an impeachment trial and it was hidden, how sure can we be that nothing's being hidden now? I have lost faith in our electorate. And broadly on both sides. I'm not telling you who to vote for, because I don't know who you should vote for, really. But I'm asking you to look at the evidence, and if there's any part about this that don't set right with you, you think before you vote. We've seen the election fraud. We've seen ballots thrown away. We've seen postal workers fired for it. We've seen videos of the mail being thrown in the trash that look like ballots. We've seen more than one video, and I've talked to more than one person that was either a Democrat or Republican that had a mail-in ballot sent to them, and that all the Democrat ones had D's on theirs and all the R's had R's on theirs. Are we having a fair election this time? Is it free from foreign interference? No. If you haven't voted, I suggest you do it now and do it early, so that your vote has to be counted before the deadline. Some states, any vote not counted within 3 days. Some states, any vote not counted within 10 days of the election will not be counted. If you wait for the last minute to mail it in, it might not get there. But I would suggest you wait until you hear the debate tomorrow night. I think this is crucial for all of us. And don't just buy what you're told. Don't just read something on the internet and believe it. Don't just watch something on the news and believe it. Investigate. That's what we try to do here. Now, as I said, I gave you the facts and I gave you my commentary. You know the facts. You've heard my commentary. If you can't believe the facts, there's no need to listen to commentary or the facts. Because when something's staring you in the face and you deny it, you're the biggest fool of all. Now, as far as my commentary, take it or leave it. Like I said, that's my own personal opinions. But I'm trying to do what's best here for this country and bring you the truth. And if you want to listen, you can. Now, you know what I said about the Proud Boys. You know what I said about our organization, Citizens Against Terrorism. And it takes a lot for us to put on these shows. It takes a lot for us to run our organization, and we depend upon the generosity of the public. I will include in the posting of this in the comments section the link for PayPal if you'd like to donate to our organization. I hope you do, because we plan on doing a lot of good for the communities. After all this violence is stopped and everything, we're going to keep going with our community support centers that we're wanting to set up. And if there's anybody out there that knows how to get grants that will help us, please contact us by going to citizensagainstterrorism.org and using the email, and send me information about how to contact for grants. We're searching out grants, but there's always more out there if you know where to go. But right now, we're depending on your dollar to help us out. And I hope you will. Our heart's in our country. It's for our country. And our love is for our people. So until then, until tomorrow night, thank you for listening. God bless you. God keep your home safe. And God bless America.